While many said that K-pop Gen 4 is becoming nothing but a pool of pretty yet talentless idols, which they took the success of IVE to exemplify such a belief, the advent of some latest debut acts has proven the opposite. Not only being able to slay dancing, singing, and stage presence like experienced performers, these idols also have hidden talents that can always draw eyes to their direction regardless of situations. Number 1. NewJeans' Hani. Being the very first Vietnamese K-pop idol of Gen 4, Hani was initially said to amount to nothing because of her nationality, and the Southeast Asian antipathy embedded in the nature of many K-nets. Yet, it didn't take long for people to change their view, as only several days into her idol career, Hani had already proven her inherent superstar glow. Not only having impressive dancing capabilities, she was showered in compliments for her visual and stage presence. Starting out as a member of a high school dance club, dancing seemingly has already been a passion of Hani, even before becoming a trainee under HYBE. However, she wasn't born a competent dancer, and also started on a low note, as after watching the remaining videos of her dancing in the pre-debut days, many said it was clear that she used to have no idea about how to control her body. However, when Hani debuted as a member of NewJeans, things have changed 180 degrees, and looking at her, many found it hard to believe she and the girl doing K-pop dance covers 2 years ago was the same person. Hopping on the trend where K-pop acts would stop assigning a fixed position for the members, Adore also directed NewJeans to be a group where all members are expected to be viewed the same talent-wise. However, Hani is still believed to be the main dancer of the act, because netizens always see Adore giving her solo parts to highlight her dancing capability. Especially during her Dance and Cookies, despite it lasting just several seconds, Hani had already impressed netizens for the groovy moves and the smooth body control. In fact, if you pay some close attention to the whole choreography, you will see her parts were the hardest to dance because it required lots of practice. For example, the head movement that must be done in sync with the shoulder movements. However, she made it look easy, and according to Knets, this is one of the biggest signs confirming whether a person has the legit dancer material or not. There is also nothing to complain about her vocal, and based on the way Adore let her do the Into the New World cover on MCD Vocal Challenge with Danielle, aka the unofficial main vocal of NewJeans, and other main vocalists of famous acts like Miyeon, Eunha, and Seon, many believed Adore themselves also recognized the vocal capabilities of Hani. Her visual and stage presence is also undeniable, which explains why she was chosen to be the youngest ever house ambassador of Gucci, despite having no fashion-related background like Hyein. When Hani had just performed for a few stages, she was already assessed to be the member with the best stage presence thanks to the capability to capture camera and add her own vibe to the performance, naturally drawing all eyes in her direction in parts she didn't even stand in the center. Not only that, Hani also proved herself to be a potential songwriter after contributing to Hype Boy, and besides the technical fields, she was also believed to be extremely smart in relationships with people. Of course, no one could tell for sure, but considering the way Min Hee-jin personally sent gifts to her parents and screenshotted her convo with Hani about the present, many could already see how wise Hani was in connecting with other people. Number 2. LE SSERAFIM's Kazuha. With a professional background in ballet, many once thought all Kazuha had ever had was her dancing skills and a pretty face that made HYBE go all the way to the Netherlands to scout her. However, as time passed and Kazuha got room to showcase her skills, many started to realize that they were actually looking at another ace of this new K-pop generation. Ever since day one, Kazuha has already made headlines for her top-tier visual. In fact, she is favored not only by netizens, but also national outlet channels of South Korea for the striking resemblance to Suzy, which is an extremely rare case, because K-nets often hold a strong prejudice against foreign idols, and almost never put idols outside their country on the same par with South Korean celebrities. About her dance capabilities, it's now super-duper abundant to keep complimenting because, with a famous professional ballerina background, everyone knows she's good at dancing. Some may say that K-pop dancing and ballet are two different genres of dance with two different sets of standards, which means it's impossible to tell if she's a good dancer based on her ballet skills. However, with the most recent comeback, Kazuha has proved them with the impressive capability to control her body, portraying a unique mixture of sharpness and silkiness in her moves. As how an ace should be, Kazuha can also sing well, despite her role as the rapper of LE SSERAFIM. When Kim Garam left and the act needed someone to cover her part in Sour Grapes, Kazuha was given some lines and people immediately went crazy over her singing. On YouTube, there was even a video titled, LE SSERAFIM Kazuha singing this Garam line of Sour Grapes so good. And most recently, when Yoonjin had to take a break due to her testing positive with COVID-19, Kazuha also impressed everyone with her ability to hit high notes in Yoonjin's parts. Under the video, the opinion focusing on her impressive vocal even got the most likes out of the whole comment section. And although Les Seraphim had Chaewon as well as Sakura, aka two experienced idols that had been in the industry for 4 years, Kazuha is still believed to be the unofficial lead vocal of the act. Besides dancing and singing, Kazuha also has a hidden talent, being capable of speaking 3 languages fluently: Japanese, English, and Korean. Though, as shown in Les Seraphim's documentary, she could barely speak a proper Korean sentence just 6 months ago. This is also the point implicitly proving that Kazuha has both the brain and the beauty, rather than being just a clueless visual in K-pop. Number 3. aespa's Karina. When Karina debuted, many flocked onto big forums to bash her for failing to continue the visual bloodline of SM Entertainment. Not only that, her dance teaser was also said to be the most disappointing dance performance netizens had ever seen out of all the stages that main dancers of SM Entertainment brought to the table. Basically, in the eyes of K-nets, Karina used to be nothing but a misfit of the agency standard, but somehow still got to be boosted overly compared to other girls in the group. However, as time passed and Karina got more opportunities to prove why SM chose her to be the representative face of their Gen 4 girl group, people also held less critical judgment against her. In fact, they even started to praise her for being one of the new aces of K-pop, as besides the surreal CGI visual, they also see in Karina the impressive skills of dancing, singing, lingual speaking, and leadership. When Karina appeared on Knowing Bros, her dancing to Bola Rabola by Tropkillaz went viral, and in the comment sections, rains of compliments were showered on her because people didn't think she could dance that well. Some even specifically pointed out why she was such a good dancer, and for the most part, it probably came down to her ability to naturally vibe and add rhythm to her dance. Plus, because this kind of dance required an exhausting balance between sharpness and silkiness, which is very different from the heavy sharpness choreography of aespa, many said they felt like SM was overshadowing Karina's talents with their direction. About the visual, well, I believe it will be extremely lame to praise her visual now, because you can literally just type Karina visual, and tons of threads complimenting her beauty would pop up. On Pan, aka the most extreme K-pop forum where idols can be criticized for the stupidest reasons on earth, there are still countless posts praising her visual. Most recently, Karina even got 90% of the votes when female netizens voted for the signature face of aespa. And if all these weren't enough to confirm her beauty, then I honestly don't know what is. Besides all these, Karina's singing is also impressive, which you can easily spot through the way she hits high notes in aespa's songs. Most recently, she even proved her stable live singing skills at Coachella. And combining this with her fluent English, Japanese, Korean, as well as the capability to lead aespa, it's obvious that she's nothing but a new ace of this generation. Number 4. Lapalus' Chanti. Despite coming from a rather small company and also just being in the industry for some time, Chanti has already been a famous name in the K community. As people get to know about her more, many also start to believe she can very well be one of the next aces of K-pop. As besides the viral visual, Chanti also has impressive stage presence, dancing, singing, multilingual skills, and as some predict, a high potential for the shining acting and modeling career. First, about her visual. Because it would be lame to just describe how good she looks, I will show you the reaction of netizens when they first saw her. When Chanti was only 1 month into the industry, she had already caused a stir among CNETs because of the striking resemblance to Dilraba Dilmurat, the visual goddess of China. As Chanti also had a background in modeling and acting before joining MLD Entertainment, it's not an exaggeration at all to say her reputation can go beyond South Korea and become the next favorite face of CNET, aka one of the most lucrative markets that not even SM Entertainment can give up, despite their allegedly strong antipathy against Chinese. Besides, her singing and dancing are also top-notch, although it is said that she has spent just 8 months as a K-pop trainee. Honestly, there's nothing worth discussing about her singing skills, as it's already been proven so clearly in her cover Part of That World in English and Spanish, which shocked all the listeners.
When did my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the shore above?
Her dancing and stage presence also got people hooked, and thanks to this fan cam of her covering choreography of famous hits, Chanti also became a viral topic online. As people often hold the prejudice that foreign idols have sloppy skills, and without a long training period, they could hardly amount to anything, the fact that Chanti debuted after a short span of practice, yet could still make groovy moves and enjoy herself naturally on stage, changed their opinions 180 degrees. So, do you agree that these idols are the next aces of this generation? And which one impresses you the most? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.